What's going on, y'all? What it is. So let's go ahead and slide on this topic, and I want to talk about this Diddy situation yet again, because ever since Cassie filed this lawsuit against him, his life has been unraveling rapidly right before our very eyes. Now, before we get into everything that I'm going to discuss within this video, I do want to let you guys know that I've been in contact with one of Kim Porter's cousins, and it's legit. I actually had a conversation with her. Now, of course, she doesn't want her identity revealed, and I'm going to honor her wishes, and we know why that she doesn't want her identity revealed for obvious reasons, right? You might come up missing and stanking somewhere. So without a doubt, we're definitely going to touch base in regards to what she had to say about Cassie, so stay tuned for that. So let's go ahead and get into the details of this new lawsuit that Diddy is claiming to be frivolous, right? He's saying that it's fake and it's not true. So it says here, Diddy is being accused of drugging and assaulting a woman on camera more than 3 decades ago in NYC, but he says that the claims are bogus. According to a new lawsuit obtained by TMZ, a woman named Joy Dickerson Neal says she was a college student at Syracuse University in 1991 when she met Diddy. She says he took her on a date that quickly turned into a nightmare. In her suit, the woman claims Diddy took her out for chicken and waffles in January of 1991 at the Harlem restaurant where she worked, then drove her over to a recording studio. The woman claims her legs felt rubbery and she couldn't stand when she tried getting out of Diddy's car, leading her to believe Diddy drugged her at some point during their meal. In the suit, the woman claims after leaving the music studio that same evening, Diddy drove her to a house where she says she was essayed and secretly recorded it. She's suing Diddy under New York's Adult Survivors Act, a law providing alleged victims of SA a 1-year window to file a civil lawsuit, even if the statute of limitations is up. Thursday marks the deadline to file such lawsuits, and that's when this suit was filed. A spokesperson for Diddy tells TMZ this last-minute lawsuit is an example of how well-intentioned law can be turned on its head. Miss Dickerson's 32-year-old story is made up and not credible. Mr. Combs never asphalted, and I'm paraphrasing here, guys, her, and she implicates companies that did not exist. This is purely a money grab and nothing more. The woman also accuses Diddy of showing the secretly recorded tape to scores of people, claiming a musician once told her Diddy has shown the tape to everyone. Now, Joy goes on to say that this situation that transpired with Diddy definitely impacted her in a negative way when it came to her mental stability, so much so that she had to forego her education and drop out of college. Now, if you ask me, do I believe if this situation went down? Absolutely, I believe this incident took place, because Diddy is a different monster. He's a different beast. You know the saying that you're innocent until you're proven guilty? Well, I think that you need to treat Diddy that he's guilty until he's proven innocent. Let's just keep it all the way a buck. Now, another thing that I want to touch on briefly is the fact that Macy's decided to step up to the plate, and they're ending their partnership with Diddy. His Sean John clothing will be phased out in the next coming months. Who was wearing Sean John anyway? Well, I guess somebody was. But anyway, moving right along. So another thing that transpired is the fact that the former president of Bad Boy by the name of Harvey Pierre was sued for SA as well. I want you guys to check out this video, and I'll be right back.
Bad Boy Records is shaking, and there's a lot going on coming out of the Bad Boy camp. This entire P. Diddy situation has me stressed to no end, and I'm sure stressing out everybody else. Well, Harvey Pierre, who used to be one of the former vice presidents at Bad Boy, just got in trouble for harassment and assault as well with his assistant at the time of working at Bad Boy. There's a lot to the story. Let's talk about it. Harvey Pierre, who is also known as Joe Hooker, worked with Bad Boy for years. He actually met Diddy when they both attended Howard University together, and he had worked with the company all the way since then. In the beginning, he worked with the Faith Evanses, the Maces, the Craig Macks, the Biggies. I mean, the real core of Bad Boy. There was even a time where he had left the company and he started working there again around 2016 through 2017. And that is when they're saying that he assaulted allegedly his assistant, and they're also saying some grooming was involved. That's the really scary part. Now, this assistant is trying to get this story out there, not because Cassie just came out with her story, but actually for a bigger reason. In New York City, there was a Child Care Act for those people who are sexually assaulted by people in their for them to come out and file civil suits under a new law. That law got changed into the Adult Survivors Act in New York, okay? Now, this Adult Survivors Act is coming to an end, and I think the actual end date for filings is November 24th of this year. So people in New York or that had things to do in New York as far as this act. Now, I don't know why the act is getting overturned. This literally puts into place people getting their justice if they were assaulted, because those type of things detriment your mind, your psychological pattern for the rest of your life. These people are still undergoing the effects of that today. It affects their everyday lives. So people were able to come back in civil suits and get their justice, get their money, get whatever closed door they needed from their past assault. It's ending, and that's what I'm saying. We're focused on the wrong things as a people when these type of things that we need, affirmative action, Adult Survivors Act, all these things coming to an end. What that shows me is Cassie's situation was not just because she needed some money. It was probably because there's a statute of limitations that's closing on things that happen in New York now. But what made me kind of like about that is the fact that she also really filed a lot of stuff in California. So I don't know. They're saying that Child Survivor Act is a New York-based situation. I don't know how California does their laws. I don't know if there's a longer statute of limitation in that. But Harvey Pierre is in trouble in New York.
All right, so you guys just heard that. Now, I guess the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Now, something that this beautiful young lady just spoke on was the fact that Cassie filed a lot of stuff in California. I want you guys to keep that in mind because you'll hear about that very same thing later on in this video. But anyway, let's continue to move forward. Now, I want to talk about this lady by the name of Erica Kennedy. Now, I've never heard of her before until somebody emailed me about this particular story. And it's mind-blowing to say the least, y'all. I'm telling you, because Erica Kennedy basically was best friends with Kimora, just like Kim Porter was. Now, what's crazy about this revelation is the fact that Erica used to work for Diddy. She also used to work for Tommy Hilfiger, but she wrote a book and then she came up missing. I want you guys to take a look at this video and then I'll be right back.
Hey y'all, I've been going down this Diddy rabbit hole and I came across an interesting story I want to share. I never heard of Erica Kennedy until today. I went looking into a story about Kim Porter and ended up coming across Kimora Lee Simmons and Erica Kennedy. So Kimora Lee Simmons and Erica Kennedy were BFFs. So was Kimora Lee Simmons and Kim Porter. Kimora Simmons and Kim Porter came up in the game together as models. They said that Kimora was crushed when she learned of Kim's passing. But we're here to talk about Erica Kennedy. You see, it says right here, Kennedy was the best friend of model and television personality Kimora Lee Simmons, serving as the maid of honor at her wedding to Russell Simmons, and she's the godmother to Kimora's kids. It says, following her graduation, Kennedy started a career working as a publicist with various top fashion designers, including Tommy Hilfiger and Sean Combs. Erica Kennedy wrote this book called Bling. It was about a music mogul who started dating this really young girl and some other stuff that somebody wouldn't want to get out. Erica Kennedy's book was a New York Times bestseller. Erica ends up dead. Kennedy's cause of death has never been publicly announced. Here in essence, it says Erica Kennedy, what her passing teaches us. As of this writing, no official cause of death has been released. I just pulled this up and according to them, there's still no official cause of death released. So Kimora lost her best friend, Erica Kennedy, unexpectedly. Then she suddenly loses Kim Porter. This guy is Ed Winter. Ed Winter does high-profile autopsies, okay? Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Brittany Murphy, Corey Haim, Paul Walker. When Kim passed away, Kimora was like, nah. I'm not hearing that. This is my second best friend. Something funny. Kim Porter was supposedly said to have passed away from lobar pneumonia. I'ma just leave this here for y'all to read. Y'all can pause it if you want. So as you can see in that report, Kim Porter's death was ruled a homicide. It was ruled a homicide by Ed Winter. So because he said all that, he got fired. Well, would you look at that? So it says Jaguar Wright supposedly claimed that there was an autopsy done on Porter, which claimed that there was poison in Porter's body at the time of death. This allegedly meant that her death was ruled as a homicide. However, that autopsy supposedly disappeared. Ed Winter, who was a coroner to celebrities at the time, reportedly did the autopsy results for Porter, and he allegedly ruled it as a homicide. So they fired Ed Winter and replaced him with another coroner, and that coroner came back with she died of natural causes. So nobody knows what Erica Kennedy's official cause of death is. Crazy part is I didn't even know Kimora was the one that found Kim Porter. She lost both of her best friends One that was directly involved with Diddy and one directly and kind of indirectly involved with him.
All right, so you guys just heard that, and once again, somebody that was tied to Diddy ends up missing. I wonder what was in this book though, for real. Was this book talking about him in particular, or was it talking about Russell? Because we know that both Diddy and Russell vibrate on the same level of frequency, and that's low, right? When it comes to disrespecting and violating women. But I'm gonna go out here on a limb and say that maybe her book has something to do with Diddy. You know, even though she didn't mention any names, of course he knows his own story. So once he got whiff of it and realized that she was actually talking about him, he had to do what he thought was in his best interest, and that was probably to get rid of her. So I think it has something to do with Diddy more than Russell, if I'm keeping it all the way 100. But anyway, guys, I'm going to talk more about that. I'm going to do some more digging and do a video myself in regards to the Erica Kennedy situation, because I think that that video or that particular topic deserves a deep dive. So I definitely am going to look further into it. All right. So without further ado, what I want to do right here is go ahead and read you this DM that I got from Kim Porter's cousin. I talked to her on the phone and everything checked out. She is related to Kim Porter. This is what she had to say about the Cassie situation. All right. So it says, "Hi, I'm Kim Porter's cousin. I do not wish to reveal my identity, but you can call me and I can reveal and verify that I'm a trusted family member. I have seen your videos about Kim, and I have to just say thank you for continuing to speak on what most of our family deem to be a senseless further." And I'm paraphrasing, guys. I'm pretty sure you can see what it says. "I just would like to say that I see a lot of people, and even you, say that Cassie sold Kim Porter out, but we as a family don't feel that way. Kim would have wanted Cassie to get her justice because Cassie was a victim like she was. So no, we're not mad at Cassie for getting compensated for the ill-advised trauma she went through. I want to part with this. Just because Cassie settled under the statute of limitations in New York regarding the New York Survivors Act does not mean Cassie didn't file in California before she filed in New York. Because whatever agreement she made with selling her lawsuit against him in New York does not stop the filing in California. You got me?" And then she proceeds to give me her number. All right, so you guys just heard that, and that came from the cousin of Kim Porter. Now, I do want to reiterate that I did touch base with her, and I had a verbal conversation with her, even though she couldn't talk too much because she had been advised not to speak on a lot of things. But basically, she told me that this thing with Cassie is not done. Now, Cassie did file paperwork in California before she filed a lawsuit in New York, and the reason why she went to file that lawsuit in New York so fast is because the Survivors Act, the window was closing, so she had to capitalize within the window of opportunity to file this lawsuit in New York against Diddy. Now, Kim's cousin also told me, and I looked it up myself, that Cassie can only go back to 2013 in the state of California and list all of the SA allegations that were committed against her by Diddy, because basically in the state of California, you can only go back 10 years. So it's going to be extremely interesting to see what comes out of all. So it's going to be extremely interesting to see what comes out of all of this moving forward. But anyway, I'm gonna let this go right here. I want you guys to drop down in the comments and let me know what you think about this whole entire video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until next time, peace.